knowing what their options are, in your opinion, is there a wrong player to take at number 3?
Well, I'll take my opinion out of it before I answer the question of who I think the wrong player is. And I'll say, statistically speaking, out of these 5 quarterbacks, 3 of them are going to fail probably. So that's just factual.
People forget that. It's like people are getting real picky. Like, I'd rather have a quarterback like this or that kind of a quarterback. You just need to find the ones who aren't going to fail miserably, because most of them do.
Right. So, yeah, statistically speaking, there's definitely a wrong quarterback to take. And being that we're at 3, we don't have the choice. Like, we just have to go off of what's left over. Now, that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. I personally don't like the position that we're in. I'd much rather be at 2. I'd be a lot more comfortable with that. But with that said, yeah, statistically speaking, there definitely is a wrong choice. Now, the guy that I think is the wrong choice personally is Mac Jones. And I'll throw out a couple stats. I know that I feel like half the 49er fans kind of agree with this, but I'm going to throw out some stats because I've said it before. I think completion percentage at the college level is the most overrated stat ever. And Mac Jones proves that. 34% of his passes were behind the line of scrimmage.
Wow.
That's a big chunk of passes.
Yes, a lot of screens.
53% of his yards came after the catch.
Yes.
And only 11% of his passes were him leaving the pocket, which the other 2 are extremely high, and the last one is very low. So, and if you go look at it, the only other quarterback the last couple of years that has come out and been picked in the first round that has numbers similar is Tua. It's the way they run their offense at Alabama. You can look at the passing charts, very, very cold, very under average as far as throwing outside the numbers and way outside the numbers near the sideline. They're well below average. Tua was, and he is. It's a concern for me.
Yeah, I mean, what I see from Mac Jones is he is better than Tua. But what does that put you?
Right.
Where does that put you? Because Tua looks like a backup to me.
Right.
And Mac Jones could get on the field and look like, well, he's small. And he's not, doesn't move particularly well. Arm isn't super strong. Yeah, there's anticipation and stuff, but early on in his career, he's not going to be reading defenses that well. It takes time. He's going to throw a lot of picks. He's going to look rough. He's going to get hit. And he may not have the patience. His team, whatever team takes it, may not have the patience because he doesn't have that high-end athleticism. He could be rough. Dude, less than 600 throws in college. That's a big red flag. A lot of people talk about what's important to them with evaluating quarterbacks. You just mentioned completion percentage, how it's kind of a phony stat. You talk about, people talk about mobility. Can you make the throw rolling left at your pro day? All kind of like high level stuff. You never hear Twitter scouts talk about experience. I think experience is very important for the success of a possible rookie quarterback coming into the NFL. Yeah. I mean, you don't have that much time to fail. Look at Josh Rosen. He's almost out of the league before 20. You don't have that much time. And what's key is actually performing well early on. And what allows you to do that a lot of the time, unless you're just the best athlete in the world, like Kyler Murray, is experience. And I mean, Mac Jones doesn't have it. So that's why I'm going to say, while Mac Jones is a good pick, less than 600 throws, I'm going to go with Trey Lance and his 288. Yeah. 288 throws, and he's going to go. No, I don't think he's ready. I think he's being picked because Carson Wentz went there and he plays in a pro-style offense and he has a great highlight tape. But 288 throws, I don't think you can point to any quarterback in the history of the league who succeeded with less than 300 pass attempts before the pros. I mean, Cam Newton had JUCO. Andrew Luck, Aaron Rodgers had JUCO. That counts. Those are live reps. You can get hurt playing in JUCO. No, Trey Lance. Nope.
Here's what I'll say to that, though. I think that the thought is that if you get a guy who's a good pocket passer, he's going to succeed at the next level early. That's what we hear about Mac Jones. Well, at the very least, early on, he can take this offense and he can run with it.
I disagree.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
If you get a guy that's very mobile that teams cannot figure out and aren't used to, those are the guys that are actually succeeding early. Now, long run, it may hurt them because they're not the best thrower. I understand that. But Mac Jones he doesn't have that in his arsenal. It's just not the way that he's built. So without that, he actually could struggle early. And to your point, he doesn't have a lot of experience. Again, people assume that he does, but he doesn't.
Who was the last pocket passer who didn't struggle early in his career? Peyton struggled early in his career. It happens because your success is based on your ability to quickly read defenses and make correct decisions. Jimmy can't do that, and he's 29, almost 30 years old.
Right.
It comes with some experience, but it also is like an innate trait, I think, that some people have and some people don't. Anyway, it comes with experience. Mac Jones doesn't have it. It's going to take him a long time. Look at Drew Brees' numbers back when he was in San Diego. It took him a while.
Yeah.
It takes you got to stick with them, and I don't think like coaches get fired every 2 years. It's hard to develop pocket quarterbacks anymore. Offensive line play is bad. It's easier to have an athlete like Trey Lance say, hey, go run around and make me look good. And it works because he's cheap and you can put a good team around him. But then he gets the second contract and then it all falls apart like it did with Carson Wentz and you're stuck. So it can work for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it can be gimmicky. Look at Lamar Jackson. I mean, quite frankly, he hasn't blossomed into a very good passer at all. And so now teams are catching up to him, and he kind of is what he is. So,
and he hasn't gotten paid yet. Let's see what happens to Baltimore when he's got a $160 million contract.
Right.
Let's see what happens to the Browns when Baker Mayfield's got that kind of contract. I mean, you already know it's going to happen.
Yeah, we know.
Yep. And also the other thing about these mobile quarterbacks like Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Kyler Murray, Colin Kaepernick, if they don't eventually develop into quarterbacks the way that Steve Young did, they're just, one injury away or a little age away from not being the dynamic threats they used to be. So you got to get there eventually. You got to wonder which one of these athletes has the drive to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, we got this person saying, look at my post before you went live. I don't even know what that means, Frederick, but thank you for the $5. Sine cosine tangent says, a little trigonometry.
I like that
reference here. I like that. Justin Herbert is the exception. Big Ben was good at first, but I think he sat and he could move. Justin Herbert also
can move.
Yeah, but Justin Herbert also played a ton in college. A ton.
He played as a true freshman. I'm an Oregon Duck fan. I'm from Oregon. He played as a true freshman, and I've got receipts that I can pull. After his first game that he ever played, I believe it was against Washington, I was texting my friend saying that this guy is going to be better on the pro level than Mariota, and he's going to be a first-round pick when it's all said and done. You could see it right away with Herbert. And again, he played 3 years at college. Like, he got a ton of games.
Almost 1,300 throws in college. That's good. That's a healthy amount of throws. That's about what Patrick Mahomes had.
Right.
It's why, basically, to finish up this point about is there a wrong player to take at 3, the quarterbacks make me very nervous, Jesse, because say whatever you want about them. All 4 of them lack experience. And I feel like there are exceptions, but most of the quarterbacks in the league were 3-year starters who threw at least 1,000 passes in college. There are exceptions. Yeah. But most of them are. And why are you trying to trade up for the exception? You're most likely going to play yourself. It's very risky. Wilson, all of them. I know one of them is probably going to end up being a stud, and I'll look dumb for being so conservative, but I don't know who that guy's going to be. Do you know who that guy's going to be? I don't know.
No. I would like to think I do.
It could be Trey Lance. You know what I mean? Yep. Who knows? It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Speaking of craps, I played craps in Tahoe this weekend.
Did you win?
No, absolutely not. I lost $100 in 10 minutes. It was the first time I ever played. I don't get gambling. It doesn't seem fun. You just lose money.
Exactly.
Anyway, 10 minutes, $100. Like, well, great.
Which is kind of what we're doing with this trade.
The whole weekend, people were telling me, all right, man, so it's like, you got to bet on the pass line first, and then when the point comes down, then you want to grab 6, you want to put a bet on 8. I did all that. I put $60 on the table within like the first. Oh, boom, 7. There goes $60. I was like, well, this game isn't fun anymore. Now I can't bet on any other number, and I'm just waiting to hit this number that I don't hit. Wow, that was a lot of fun.